So welcome everyone to the Praxis Daily 180 Stress Meditation 23. As I welcome you to part 2 of this trilogy of the process of self-reflection and deeper self-reflection at this time of Easter. And you may be wondering, well, what's the point in self-reflecting? What's the point in going back? What's happened has happened, and what's the point? We live for the now, we live for the future. That's all that matters. Bygones be bygones. And yet, that is what we're often encouraged to think and process through in the Western world in terms of looking forwards. And yet, there is a lot to be gained to the process of self-reflecting, as it invites us to look at how we've lived life to this point, to make sense of perhaps why life has turned out the way it has, the sorts of friendships I've ended up having, the sorts of relationships I've ended up having, the way I view myself and the value I have for myself, things that didn't get sorted out, or perhaps don't even know what to sort out. Or why am I feeling that sense of emptiness? And perhaps, who am I? Some of the bigger questions that I'm raising there that all can be given light to in this process that we call self-reflection. And it takes courage, it takes a want to do it, a sense of soul-searching, self-searching in order to find meaning. So this particular process part today, this part 2, is the process in which we go into the quieter place. So we're not trying to make anything happen, because, as I've said many times, the wisdom already sits within what we call the unconscious. We just need to create the quietness, the solitude, and the respectful space in which to engage. So I have the candle lit behind me, as you can see. The scene is set. So I'm going to invite you now to take that Chin Maya Mudra again, the first finger and thumb touching, palms uppermost, and just rest them in your lap. And let your eyes soften. And as you close your eyes, you're also closing down the focus on the external world as we draw the focus to the internal world. And that's what this part 2 is about, drawing the focus inwards. Closing the eyes, closing down the sensory data that your senses are picking up, turning the volume down on your sense of smell, sense of taste, and the sensitivity of your skin, just turning it down. Excellent. And then noticing what you're seeing in front of your closed eyes, and stand further back in your awareness, just letting yourself stand back and back and back until there's just a mush of nothingness to focus on. As you then draw your awareness to your hearing, as you turn the volume down on your external hearing, enough to still hear my voice, but then I'm going to invite you to turn up your internal hearing. And as you start to close down on picking up on sensory data, I'm going to invite you now to slow down the thought waves of the mind. Remember that yogas, chittas, vritti, nirodha that we worked with last week? We're now just noticing the flow rate of the thoughts slowing down. Just slowing down, just slowing down. Until there's a lovely sense of organic pace. Just moving along, just moving along. And allowing your connection to your breath to be there, and just noticing the breath, moving in, moving out, coming towards you, moving away from you, and a constant sense of movement. And then whilst all that's happening, come into the next layer underneath, coming into that quieter space. And I invite you to hold this space here. I'm going to invite us to hold the quiet space for the next 60 seconds, 1 minute of clock time, and I'll call you back then. Just coming into silence, being in the silence. becoming aware of the sound of my voice as you hear my voice and you feel my voice, that you and I are making contact once again, although the contact was never lost. We're just resuming it through the sound of my voice. And then allowing a slightly deeper breath to come in and go, coming in and go. Well done. Becoming aware of your hands and your feet, your legs and your arms, your head and your neck, the whole of your trunk, front and back. And then drawing closer to this practice, bringing the hands together into Namaste, lowering your chin towards your chest, and we draw closure to part 2 with 3 rounds of Om Shanti. So when you're ready, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, peace be with you. As you very gently start to lift your head up, as you and I make contact once again, lovely to see you, and just registering how you're now feeling, having connected to self through silence. Om Shanti. Peace be with you until next time. Enjoy your evening and good night.